would like.
Show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bob.
Oh, man, what a weekend, huh? I mean, Aggie fan, you're still wobbling in your shoes. And I get it, Lobo fan. A hell of a week, huh? I get it. We're here for you. We're going to do things a little different today. Not only, today's not Monday, it is Monday. See, Zay is in for JJ, where it would be Monday. What's up, dude? How you living?
Living great. I'm living great.
Thanks for getting up this morning.
Of course.
I know the morning ain't your time of day.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to watch my Cowboys lose last night, and my Ducks won. So yeah. I had the energy this morning.
Boy, how about the Ducks? They got a path.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we'll get into the college football playoff. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and Isaiah Johnson is in for JJ today, and we're going to do things a little bit differently on this Monday. Here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal. I want to say thank you for being with us today, and hope you had a hell of a weekend. One of the craziest things that we've ever seen in a Lobo Aggie game, and that's saying something. A full slate of NFL. The college football playoff is set after, kind of a ho-hum day of championship games, but boy, the night games were something. The Oregon and Penn State, the Clemson SMU finish was beyond bonkers. Mm-hmm. And now you've got a bracket to go through. Here's what we're going to do. And we're here for you, and we'll open up phones 7:15 and 7:30. We're going to have guests on, and our guest list today, they're going to be the coaches who will take part in the 19th annual Isleta New Mexico Bowl, which will be on December 28th out at University Stadium. Coming up at 7:15, Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, the team who played in the Sun Belt Championship game on Saturday night and lost their quarterback. We were down to a redshirt freshman. We'll talk to them about that. But this is a heck of a team, and I think they're getting a quarterback back, their starter for the bowl game. At least they hope so. But a 10-win Raging Cajun team that is coming in here in the top 30 offense in America. So 7:15, Michael Desormeaux is going to be with us. And then at 7:30, Sonny Dykes, who 2 years ago was getting ready for the playoff of the national championship game. TCU at 8-4, coming out of the Big 12. So Sonny Dykes will be with us coming up at 7:30. You okay with that matchup?
Oh, yeah, it's a great get, both of them.
It was, a little different. A lot of people go, where'd that come from, right? We've done some different stuff over the last few years on Selection Sunday. So nice. I'm excited about that. So it's going to be a short first segment. NFL yesterday, big stuff. Rams over the Bills was big. Mm-hmm. Seattle beating Arizona was big. The Chiefs again at the end. But they win. I mean, keep telling me how bad they are, and then tell me that they're 12-1 and just won another division.
Yeah, they raise the competition every single time. It's like anything that's floating in the water, no matter how high the tide is, they always just are floating just above the water.
All I know is Justin Herbert was killing it going into this game, and he put up 17 points yesterday.
Yeah.
All I know is that they win games, and they keep finding ways. Now, I do think it's going to bite them at some point. I think these things come back and get you and even out. But all I know is they just won another division championship, and they keep winning.
Yeah, if every drive of theirs was a must-score drive, they would score every single time.
Yep.
That's what I'm convinced with the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they get that first down. They keep the ball away from you. They do everything that they have to do to keep it away from you. So, that was big. I thought Seattle's win over Arizona was a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that was in the NFC West, and Seattle's kind of taking charge there. And then the Vikings didn't just win like they normally do. They win typically like the Chiefs do.
Yeah.
And they put it on the Falcons yesterday, and the Falcons are in a downslide. And there's a whole lot of calling for Michael Penix.
Yeah. Sam Darnold says, and stay out. Yeah. So he says to Kirk Cousins, and stay out of here.
Scram, dude. Yeah. And look, Sam Darnold's hard not to like in a lot of respects, unless you're a Jet fan, I would imagine. But he didn't do it to you. You did it to him.
True.
Kirk Cousins threw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes. Sam Darnold, 5 touchdown passes and 347 yards. Viking fan, did you make the right choice?
Oh, yeah.
Just asking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, right?
I thought Penix was going to get in this game if Kirk struggled beforehand. That was my prediction. I'm surprised, they didn't throw him in there at some point.
They are the Falcons, 6-7. They are now trailing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC South. They are on a 4-game losing streak. They have lost 5 of their last 7. Here come the Raiders and the Giants. I mean, if you're ever going to get well, I guess it would be the Raiders and the Giants.
Yes, those 2 teams.
But
both playing for first pick.
Yeah. But then there's that. All right. Did you see the end of the ACC championship game? So we got back from the Lobo game just in time. We were kind of listening on the radio to the Oregon game.
Yes.
And the Oregon game ends, and we put on, and SMU scores with 16 seconds to go against Clemson. Gets the 2-point conversion, and we're going to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And Clemson takes the kickoff. They get a big return out towards midfield. Now they got 8 seconds to go. They throw a crossing route over the middle. Timeout. Now we got, 2 seconds to go. And a freshman kid comes on and kicks a 56-yard field goal to put him into the playoff. It was nuts. I felt for Rhett Lashley. Are you good with SMU in over Alabama for the last spot?
Yeah. I think, again, Alabama had uglier losses to less competent teams.
They had better wins.
They did have better wins, and I think that is why it was even a discussion. And one thing, one of the guys from the committee, I think he was the AD at Michigan.
Yes, Ward Manuel.
Yeah, what I heard him saying a lot was, Alabama's ranked pretty high for a team with 3 losses. Yeah. So they're saying, we understand the strength of the schedule.
So we gave you strength of schedule. That's why you're still there with 3 losses.
Yeah, that's why this is even a discussion.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, same.
I don't know that there's a wrong answer here, or I don't know that there's a right answer when it came down to those 2. And, we're arguing, somebody said to me, they're probably, not all playoff caliber, but since we have 12 slots,
mm-hmm.
when you have 12 and you have 10, 11, and 12 look like they do, 13, 14, and 15 are going to say, well, we should be in the playoff. And this is why they're going to scream to expand the playoff. It's just like the NCAA tournament, right? I mean, are we really arguing over numbers 67, 68, 69, and 70? Really?
Yeah.
But we are.
Yeah.
And so, we got to expand the tournament. I want them to let this thing play out at 12 for a few years. I really do. The 4-team CFP worked every year. Mm-hmm. It worked as much as you yelled and screamed, except for last year when Florida State got left out undefeated.
I was going to ask.
It worked every year without much argument.
So do you think them leaving Florida State out last year and the backlash they got maybe led to some of the push to put SMU in?
I just don't. I think the biggest thing was, honestly, is they sat in that room. They could not make a precedent that we're going to penalize a team who loses on a last-second field goal in a championship game, penalize them and knock them below a team who was sitting at home who didn't make their championship game.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing. Because then what they do, I hear Alabama, and I like Greg Byrne, their AD, but I hear them say, "Oh, well, then we're not going to play anybody." See, it doesn't make sense to play anybody. No, I get it in the moment, but otherwise they destroy the conference championship. Why play in a conference championship game? If I'm sitting at number 8,
yeah,
heck, I want out. I don't want a chance to go out and lose and get knocked out. No, let me in the playoff.
Exactly.
And so I really think that was the precedent that they needed to set, more so than good wins versus bad losses, because Alabama had better wins. Do we think Alabama's better than SMU? I mean, some people do, some people don't. But what SMU did in and it's not their fault that they didn't play Clemson and Miami.
Yeah.
You guys want 18-team leagues, 16-team leagues. You're going to get this every damn year, an unbalanced schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get into that. Let's take this break. We're gonna get you to know the coaches from the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. Michael Desormeaux is going to be with us next. He is the head football coach of a 10-3 football team that had one heck of a football season. The head coach of the Raging Cajuns, Michael Desormeaux, next, fresh off a Sun Belt Championship game appearance. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub. official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own.
Stadium 12:15 local time, and yesterday I've told you stories over the years about my day job as executive director of the New Mexico or New Mexico Bowl. And Selection Sunday is a crazy day, and it goes a lot of different ways. It is the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and Isaiah Johnson. We'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. 10-3, Louisiana, who played in the Sun Belt Championship game just 2 nights ago, will be in town to take on an 8-4 Big 12 team, TCU. And I love the matchup. It is, of all the non-playoff bowls, this is the win total between the 2 teams is the 4th highest of any bowl in America. You are going to love the brand of football of these 2 teams, and I want you to meet the head coaches who are putting this together. And Michael Desormeaux is having a terrific run at his alma mater. The head coach for the Louisiana Raging Cajuns joins us this morning. Good morning, Michael. How you living?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Excellent. Thank you. Congratulations, on a great season, and we're really looking forward to having you down here. How did the boys receive it when you told them where they were going yesterday?
They were fired up, man. Half of our team, myself included, has never been to New Mexico, so that's exciting. and I mean, getting to play a great opponent like TCU, I mean, that's something that, our kids are really excited about. I mean, I'm proud of this team, man. We've had a great year so far, and certainly the championship didn't go like we want to, but really excited for one more opportunity. And it's kind of cool the places football takes you. Most of us haven't traveled a whole lot from South Louisiana, so it'll be a cool deal to get to go to New Mexico and experience that whole deal.
Yeah, I've been running this game since it started. This is our 19th game, and I've watched student athletes and coaches come down here, and whether it was Marshall or Temple or people who never would be here and maybe never would get through, and they love the beauty and the flavor. And by the time you get out of here, you're going to say, "Damn, that place was really cool. The hospitality was wonderful." And the team who wins the game always loves it more, Coach. You know how that goes. But
that does have a big factor, doesn't it?
Yeah. Hey, for a team that's played this season, you get a win at Wake Forest, you go to an ACC place and you win there, you get to your championship game. The reward to get to play a good Big 12 team for your kids. How did that go over with your fan base, with your student athletes, the opponent that you got?
Our fan base is thrilled. I mean, you have a really good season and you get to a great bowl game and you get an opponent like this. It's kind of just like the cherry on top. And, our fan base is incredibly excited. Our players are fired up. We did our end of the year banquet last night. They were all smiles. It kind of helped get over the sting a little bit of a Saturday night, not playing exactly like we wanted to. So, it gives us something to kind of shift our focus towards and certainly, a 14th opportunity for this team to get to play. It's been a really fun group, man. They're going to be fired up to go out there and play one more time with this group together.
He's Michael Desormeaux. He's the head coach of Louisiana Raging Cajuns. He'll be in town for the Atlanta New Mexico Bowl. All right, you're going through quarterbacks. Now, Ben Woolridge was your quarterback. He gets hurt in the South Alabama game. Chandler Fields gets hurt in the championship game, and you're down to a redshirt freshman, and Daniel Beal. I heard whispers Ben might be available for the bowl game. Is that right?
Yeah, we think he will be. Daniel's actually a true freshman and stepped in there Saturday and got thrown to the wolves. But he's going to be a really good one for us. He's got unbelievable poise. He's a talented kid. He's really mature. But certainly we're hoping that Ben will be able to play. He was our starter for a reason. Conference player, offensive player of the year, and he really kind of sets the tone for our whole team. So. Unfortunately, Chandler will be out. He's on the recovery right now, had surgery yesterday, and that stuff went well. But, for us, you always want your starting quarterback back. We've had a tough go the last 3 years. Unfortunately, we hadn't had a whole lot of luck with keeping our quarterbacks healthy. But, that's part of the game sometimes.
So, Coach, do you guys this is Isaiah Johnson here, the producer. Do you guys have any certain plan as far as keeping – everybody non-rusty? I know the New Mexico Bowl's on the 20th of December, so you've got a few weeks until then.
Yeah, so yesterday, that's what I was up here yesterday, sitting in my office, kind of waiting for the news to break with my associate head coach, Coach Munoz, our strength coach. And we had I have a whiteboard in my office with the whole month planned out, and we had dates circled that we were hearing might be it. So we had about 3 or 4 plans going at one time.
Nice. And so did I.
I figured that. So we kind of had it mapped out. And, this week our kids have finals. So we're going to give them this week off of football. We're just going to lift and run a few times this week, meet with them on Wednesday, kind of lay out the whole schedule. It being around Christmas, I think is, kind of something that we're trying to work to give them some time to be able to get home for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
We got a good plan. We're going to work next week. We're going to kind of spread the work out a little bit, going back to almost like a spring type format, practice, off practice, where we can take our time, review it in between, give them a long weekend where they can go home. And then certainly, we start the prep on Monday. I say the prep, we start the normal game week on Monday, for us, leading up to Saturday. So, we're going to get some good work. The best thing about having a bowl that's, a lot of our bowls in the Sun Belt are all before Christmas. Kind of the good thing about it being a little bit later is we get some extra practices, especially for our young guys that are coming back next year. You get really for us, we're going to have about 3 or 4 bonus days that those guys get to work. And, that's invaluable time to get to practice with them.
Yeah, he's Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of Louisiana, the Sun Belt Conference Coach of the Year. Hey, what does it mean to you to do this at your alma mater? That you've been to bowl games and the place that you grew up around, that you played at, and now to get your. I heard you say in the post-game press conference, back where you belong, where Louisiana belongs, back in championship games, and here you are at 10-3 and playing a Big 12 team in a bowl game. I know guys who coach at their alma mater. There's something special. You always love your alma mater.
This place has been so good to me. It means everything to me. As a player, they said yes to me. Coach Hudspeth brought me back as an assistant, said yes to me then. Coach Napier kept me on. When Coach Napier left, Dr. Maggard and Dr. Savoy gave me an opportunity to be the head coach here. And we had a couple of tough years my first 2 years, lost a bunch of guys. And, the way we decided to build it back was kind of a little bit against the flow of what everyone was doing. We continued to sign a bunch of high school guys and, and tried to build it for the long term. So this place means everything to me. It's home, for myself, for my kids, for my wife. She came to school here with me too. So it means everything to be able to do it here. And, I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to be the coach here. It's just fun to see. It's fun to do it at a place like this because, everything you see now, it's all about money. It's all about these other things. And there's a lot of things we do here that are great. We provide a great experience for our kids. Maybe we don't quite have as many resources as some other people, but I still think you can do it at a high level if you treat people the right way and you have real relationships and, it's built on the right things. So it means everything to me. Our administration's allowed me to do it the way that I thought was the right way to do it. And I'm grateful for that. So it's been a cool ride. There's been some ups and downs certainly, but I wouldn't change it for anything. It's something that, I never dreamed of. I never even planned on being a college coach. I was going to coach high school football and that was what I was going to do. And then when I got the opportunity here, it was just something I couldn't pass up. It was an opportunity to be an assistant at my alma mater, and here we are now.
Yeah, and here you are going up against a team that 2 years ago was in the national championship game, in a bowl game on a Saturday afternoon, right smack in the middle of bowl season. He's Michael Desormeaux. He's with us just for a few more minutes. Have you looked at TCU yet? What do you see if you have?
So we haven't really got to it yet. We got all the film uploaded yesterday. Obviously today is the first day of portal, so this is the second recruiting season here. So today a lot of that time will be spent with our players, just making sure we're in a good spot with some of them. And we'll get started I'll start on TCU probably this afternoon. Look, Coach Dykes his track record is, speaks for itself. I have a ton of respect for him and the programs that he's consistently put together year after year after year. I think going 8-4 in the Big 12, I think that says enough. So they've got some kids we've recruited along the way, some Louisiana guys that are over there that are really good players. So we're kind of familiar with that a little bit. I've looked at their roster. They've got a big, good-looking group on defense. They're athletic up front on offense. So, we'll certainly have our hands full. But, that's kind of – I think that's when we're our best a little bit is when our back's against the wall and we're kind of counted out. So we're fired up about the opportunity. And, I know we got our hands full. I know we got to show up and got to have to play really well. But, that's what these guys have done all year.
Yeah. Lastly, as our audience maybe isn't as familiar with you, I think this game gets to be regional sometimes, but you got a Sun Belt team. This is the first time he's led a New Mexico Bowl in our 19 years. It'll have a Sun Belt team. First time we have a team that's in the Big 12. BYU was almost in the Big 12 2 years ago. They were playing their last game before they were in. We've had Pac-12 teams. We've had, but never had a Sun Belt team. For our fan base here, who said, "Man, at 10-3, I've seen highlights." What's your football team about? What are they going to see when you get to town?
You're going to see guys that play really hard, man. We got a tough, hard-nosed group. We play really hard. This is as much of a team as you're going to find in today's landscape. These guys care about each other. They play hard for each other. Our thing that we talk about a lot is we want to be the best team at the things that don't take any talent. We want to play harder than everybody else. We want to play with effort, toughness, discipline. And it's guys that, we've got good football players. We got a good front on the offensive line. We've got good edge play at tight end. Our receivers have really, we've got some dynamic guys at receiver. We've got a quarterback that really, operates the way an offense is supposed to be run. I mean, he's a, really, really sharp kid that does a great job. We've got 3 running backs that share the load on defense. We've got a group on the back end who flies around. Our safety, Tyrone Lewis Jr., has really kind of set the tone for us on the back end. Unfortunately, Tyree Skipper is out for the year. But we've had some guys that have stepped up and played really well in his place. Casey Osai, our starting Mike linebacker, is kind of our tone setter on defense. And then up front, man, we got some guys that run to the ball. They play tough. We can rush the passer a little bit, and we got some edge players that really do a good job. They can get after the quarterback when they get some one-on-one situations. So, I think they'll see they'll see good football players. They'll see sound schemes, and they're going to see guys that play the game the right way.
I think they're going to enjoy what they see. Hey, I'm looking forward to you getting out here and meeting you and Lindsay and your whole team. We got a nice dinner planned for you, a little spa day for the ladies. Now Michael, what I told Dr. Maggard, we're going to take care of you. You're going to have a great, great, great time out here. I know it's about a football game, but it's a bowl game too, and it's a celebration. So you're going to get to enjoy the flavor of New Mexico and Albuquerque, and enjoy the hospitality that we've been doing for the last 19 years here at the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. Appreciate the time. Looking forward to seeing you here in about a week and a half or so. And best of luck. Congratulations on what's been a great season so far.
Well, thank you guys so much. We're looking forward to it. A bowl is a reward for a team that's that's really done things the right way, and it's something that you deserve. So we're going to have a lot of fun while we're out there and prepare to go try to play well on Saturday.
Safe travels. I'll talk to you throughout the week. Be well.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Take care. He is the Sun Belt Coach of the Year, Michael Desormeaux. Coming up next, TCU's football coach, Sonny Dykes, who's got a little bit of history here in Albuquerque and New Mexico. It's TCU and the Raging Cajuns. Sonny Dykes next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Chili.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs.
The Raging Cajuns and that young man, the passion of a guy who's coaching at his alma mater. You can certainly hear in his voice that a guy who loves what he does and takes a lot of pride in it. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta. Zay is sitting in for JJ today. Isleta New Mexico Bowl is set on the 28th of December out at University Stadium. It will be TCU 8-4 out of the Big 12 against Louisiana, a 10-3 team who played for the Sun Belt Championship just two nights ago. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and Isaiah Johnson. It's my pleasure to welcome to the program the head football coach at TCU. He's got a little history here in Albuquerque and is in his third year as the head coach at TCU. Sonny Dykes joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Sonny. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Looking forward to hosting you here in Albuquerque in a couple weeks. Congratulations on what's been a good season.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. We're excited to go and looking forward to having a heck of an experience and playing a good Louisiana team.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this. When we started this game, and I've been running it since we started back in 2006, and Rudy Davalos was the chairman of our board, and he was tight with your dad. Your dad was the first keynote speaker at the very first New Mexico Bowl back in 2006. So it's kind of cool to have you coming in and
yeah,
being part of this.
You know what? I appreciate you telling me that. I did not know that, and that that's a neat little thing. I had no idea. A neat little nugget.
Yeah, somebody told me. Did you when he was coaching here for a little while? Did you go to Sandia High School, or did you go to school here in Albuquerque for a bit?
So, yeah, my brother and sister went to Sandia. I went to Comanche Elementary School, so I was a little bit younger. But both my brother and sister graduated from Sandia.
Yeah, you know who else went to Comanche? Greg Byrne, who's the athletic director in Alabama, when he was here with Arizona a few years ago, and one of his teachers was sitting in the audience at the luncheon. It's still a relatively small town.
Yeah, Greg and I were there, I think, at the same time. His dad was one of the ADs or assistant ADs, and I think he was in charge of fundraising, and my dad was there. So Greg and I have known each other for a long time.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on a good year. And, look, college football is crazy with the portal and how many guys are in and out and teams changing. 2 years ago, you're in a national championship game, and then you're not in a bowl game last year. So I got to believe for your program or for your guys to get back into a game is a big deal, and to play in the postseason to be in a bowl game.
It is. Yeah, it is. The first year we got here, 22, was one of those kind of amazing years. We were 7-1 in one-score games. We had just a lot of really good things happen to us. We had a lot of experience on that team that we inherited, and really a bunch of really good football players. And the 23 group, we felt going into the season had a chance. We lost so many players. We had, I believe, 7 juniors that came out early in the NFL draft. We had 9 guys drafted. We had a lot of players that we thought were coming back that didn't come back. So it pretty much killed our roster. And so we had to go out and find a bunch of transfers, and then we probably didn't do a great job of building a team. I think in today's, transfer portal world, building a team is really, really important. I think we took for granted a little bit of some of that, that some of that 22 would carry over to that 23 team, and it didn't. And we were just the opposite. I think we were 1-4, 1-5 in one-score games that year. And so, anyway, this team started out kind of rough this year in 24. You know, we had about 3 or 4 games where we didn't play very well, kind of on the front end of the season. And to their credit, we had an open date. We got settled in and started playing some pretty good football at the end of the season. I think we won 5 out of our last 6, something like that. So our guys are playing pretty well right now, playing with some confidence, and excited to have a chance to play another game. I really like this team. You know, these guys are really committed to each other. It's a very unselfish group, a very fun group to coach. They play hard. They enjoy practicing and competing against each other. So, you know, hopefully we'll come out and we're going to have 11 practices before the game, and hopefully our guys will get after it and get prepared and go play against a good 10-win football team.
Yeah, 5 out of the last 6 is right, with the only loss being a 3-point loss on the road at Baylor, and some really nice wins in there. And look, I don't know. I think you enjoy them all. I don't know if you enjoy the tight wins better or the ones where maybe you can breathe a little in the fourth quarter. The bottom line is your team's playing well. They're scoring a lot of points. Did something happen after the Houston game that you felt click, or was it just the evolution of a team?
Well, the biggest thing was we quit turning the ball over. You know, it's we played SMU early in the season, scored 42 points, and turned the ball over 5 times in that game. And you know, in college football, you can't turn the ball over. And we turned it over 5 times in that game, turned it over 4 times in the Houston game. And, you know, we had a stretch there where we had 12 turnovers in 3 ball games. And you can't really beat anybody turning it over like that. And so we really focused during that open date before we went and played Utah on taking care of the football and trying to create some turnovers defensively. We were -10 in turnover margin when we went to Utah. And when we finished the season, those last 6 games, I believe we were +4. And so we did a lot better job taking care of the ball, and it made all the difference in the world for our team.
Sonny Dykes is the head football coach at TCU. Horned Frogs will be at University Stadium for the Isleta New Mexico Bowl against Louisiana on December 28th.
So, Coach, this is Isaiah, the producer here. So how much benefit would you say there is to some losses? Because I know, you know, a lot of times when you see a team lose, you know, of course, there's penalty for it when you're evaluating that team. But, you know, I played a few years of football, and I feel like after a loss, that's where you learn most of your lessons. So I know you mentioned the turnovers. So do you think those losses have made you guys a better team today, or is it just some small little fixes that you'd have to do to fix that?
And I think it's a lot of what you said. You know, when you lose a game, obviously it gets everybody's attention. And I think it was pretty clear for us, you know, just because we were turning the ball over so much. We were, you know, putting our defense in a bad situation. And, you know, it was pretty obvious that people were scoring points off our turnovers. And you know, we just had so many of them that it was pretty clear to our players that was the issue. But we sat down, we showed it to them. We talked about one of the teams I had in the past. We had a Louisiana Tech team when my first head coaching job that was kind of in the same situation. I believe we were sitting at 1-4, had turned the ball over a bunch, and started taking care of the ball and won 16 of our next 17 games over 2 years. Nice. And so I think this group kind of took that message and they did a tremendous job of believing in that and really focusing on that. And we, you know, changed some things. We really started emphasizing, you know, protecting the ball and all the different ways that we could. We talked about it. We emphasized that our quarterback really bought into it. And that allowed us to, you know, to have a chance to win some close games. And then as we started to grow a little bit of confidence, then I think we started playing better and we were able to pull away from some folks as well.
Yeah. Sonny, what do you make of and we're in the infancy of these gigantic leagues. You got 16 teams in the Big 12. Lord knows where it's going to end. And so you have unbalanced schedules. And Greg Byrne, we were talking about the AD at Alabama, was talking about strength of schedule. And, you know, when you're going to have this many teams, you're not going to play everybody. And you're going to have an Indiana kind of schedule. You're going to have a Alabama kind of schedule. What do you make of it in the infancy? Because it's big, it's new, but I think it's kind of here to stay for a while.
Yeah, you know, I think that's a really good question. Unfortunately, when these teams grow and or these conferences grow rather, and you have these super conferences that have 16 teams in them, you know, someone's going to catch a break when it comes to scheduling. You know, when we were in the American Conference, when I was the head coach at SMU, you know, the conference schedules would come out, and you could almost predict who was going to be in the conference championship game just based on who had the best and easiest schedules. And you know, I'm not sure that's the best way to do it. And so I don't know. I think we've got to sit down the heads of some of these conferences, the commissioners, have got to sit down and try to look at scheduling and try to figure out, okay, what's the most equitable way to do this scheduling. I think we've got to also, take a look at conference championship games and the role that they play right now, and is that something that we want to continue to do? And I think one of the things that no one really talks about that I think is vitally important is we've got to sit down and we have to say, okay, look, if all these teams are going to be judged on this agenda, why in the world would the Big 12 and the Big 10 play 9 conference games? Yeah. And why in the world would the ACC and the SEC play 8 conference games? Yeah. And if you just look in the Big 12, for example, the week where a lot of the SEC teams were playing, 1AA opponents, the Big 12 was playing conference games. And 2 teams that were kind of ranked at the top, Colorado and BYU, both suffered losses that week, which really knocked them out of the college football playoff. Had those games not occurred and had they been playing 8 conference games, there's a pretty good chance that there would have been 2, potentially 3 teams from the Big 12 that participated in the college football playoff.
That's a great point. Like Alabama played Mercer that weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. And so there's got to be some kind of equitable system that everybody plays the same. You don't see that in the NFL. All the scheduling's the same in the NFL. The teams that were successful play harder schedules. There's all these things that the NFL does to try to ensure that at the end, the best 2 teams are playing. And I think we've got to take a look at some of that in college football and try to adopt some of those principles.
Don't you think one of the reasons, because the Alabama SMU argument, I see both sides of it, and I think there's validity on both sides, but my feel is one of the reasons that they went the way they did is if they go the other way, and I understand Greg's upset, and he said, we're not going to schedule as hard, but it would almost, the conference championship game becomes, why do I want to play in it? And there's too much damn money in a conference championship game for them to take those things away. So I think they said, we're not going to penalize a team who loses on a 56-yard field goal in a conference championship game and reward a team that didn't make theirs.
Yeah, which I certainly understand. I mean, look, we were in that same boat 2 years ago. We were 12-0 in the regular season. We played Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game, lost on a kind of a controversial, 4th down and goal situation. And lost the game, and I remember when I was in that situation, I remember thinking that same thing. Look, we don't want to be penalized. We're one of the, I believe, 2 or 3 undefeated teams in college football that year during the regular season. Yep. We didn't want to be penalized for playing in our conference championship game, and fortunately, we got into the college football playoff. We played Michigan, who had a great team, who was undefeated, had won the Big Ten that year. We beat Michigan and then had a chance to go play for a national championship. And that was Michigan's only loss in 2 years. And so we played a quality team. We found a way to beat them, advanced to the national championship. But we didn't want to be penalized. And so I certainly understand SMU's point of view. But also, too, you understand Alabama's point of view. I mean, Alabama, had 3 really good wins against top 25 teams. SMU was 0-2 against top 25 teams. And so you can make an argument a million different ways, and I think that's why we have to do everything that we can do to make this as equitable as possible so that when they get to these situations, the teams can be judged on a standard that's the same for everybody.
Yeah, when you got 16 and 18 team leagues and you're playing 8 or 9 of them, it's going to be really, really hard. Hey, really appreciate the conversation, and I'm looking forward to having you in town. You got a heck of a football team. I don't know have you looked at Louisiana yet? Have you got any idea what you got?
No, I haven't had a chance to get ready to start watching tape right now. I had a chance just to kind of see them during the season. A really good football team. Look, nobody wins 10 games in college football in this day and age if you're not a really good football program. So I know the kind of players in the state of Louisiana. I coached at Louisiana Tech for 3 years. There's a ton of talent there. This will be a very talented team. And a team I know that runs the ball well and plays really tough physical brand of football.
Well, looking forward to having you down here. Promise you we're going to take care of you and your student athletes and your staff, and you're going to have a great time. You reach out to me if there's anything you need, and I look forward to seeing you here in about a week and a half.
No, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Like I said, we're excited to come to Albuquerque and try to get the 9 wins.
Be well, Sonny. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Take care. He is the head football coach at TCU, Sonny Dykes. That was cool.
Very cool.
Well, that's the dude who was in it 2 years ago, like in the final, like in the championship game. And I think he put out the issues that college football is facing pretty clearly. Now, what do you do about it? And I'm not sure that when the conferences are that big and that diverse, how do you go apples versus apples? Because he laid out the Alabama SMU thing perfectly, and he's right. All right, I know we're late. Let's take this break. All right, we'll kind of open it up to you now. It's your show the rest of the way. It's Monday. Zay is in for JJ. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Provide alarm systems, camera systems. They got a state-of-the-art facility to monitor those cameras 24/7 to raise the level of security around your home and your business. The question is, who's watching your home when you're not there? Look, you're going to have packages dropped off. It's that time of year. Make sure you take care of what you've worked so hard to build. Don't wait to be a victim. Call IPS. See what they can do for you. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Jeff Symbieta, Isaiah Johnson's in for JJ today. All right, so what'd you think? Two different dudes that I can't wait to have, I can't wait to sit down up in the hospitality suite and have a drink with both of those guys.
Yeah, me too.
You coming? You're welcome.
I'll see if I can make it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just, not everybody can come, but, I mean, you're pretty good to me.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'll take your offer.
All right.
I think the 28th, I'll be hosting that day.
All right.
Actually, incorrect.
Yeah.
I'll be hosting the 27th.
Yeah, so will I. I'll be hosting all week.
Yeah.
Well, you're here. You're on this show. Heck, this is your show for like the back end of the month.
Yeah.
This is your show. I thought what Sonny Dykes had to say, and there was a lot in there about just where college football's going and where we are. It's what do you do? And I don't know that the answer. I think they've grown these conferences to the point where what are you going to do? Because if you're Alabama and you're Greg Byrne, their AD, I hear your argument. You beat Georgia. You've got better wins than SMU does. You absolutely do. And then you went out and got run by a 6-6 Oklahoma team, and you got beat by a 6-6 Vanderbilt team.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason. If you beat those two teams, we got two less bowl teams in the system right now.
Yeah.
The bowl system hit the number right on the head. The exact number of bowl teams that fill the exact number of games.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody was left out. Didn't have to go into the 5 and 7 bowl.
So it looks like it's not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, the bowl system. I don't know why anybody thinks it is. They're like an 8-4 TCU should play in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
There's no argument. A 10-3 Louisiana should get a postseason opportunity. They're not getting into the 12-team playoff. This is what bowls are about, putting these two good teams together.
Yeah, and obviously the leagues are way different, but this just shows how peaceful it really is in the NFL. Like the playoff system, it's just there's no argument.
Yeah, but there's 32 teams that are playing on a relatively level playing field.
Exactly.
And you can't even make an argument that
they should try to adopt that style.
Well, but they can't. There's 134 teams that are playing in totally different leagues, and you're going to tell me that Louisiana's playing on the same playing field as LSU, and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're going to tell me New Mexico's playing on the same playing field as Texas. They're not.
You can't do it.
And so now Boise State getting in is a big deal, and Boise State getting a bye is a big deal. And there was a lot of respect. Boise State's biggest win was their one possession loss at number 1 Oregon. I mean, honestly, because there's not their best wins are the two against UNLV. Their biggest resume builder, kind of, is how they played against the number 1 team in the country, the only undefeated team left, when they went up to Oregon and lost on a last-second field goal. That was like their biggest thing, and that's why they got a bye. That's why they got a bye instead of the ACC championship or champion. Look, the system, and I appreciate the way the system is. It was going to be 6-6. It was going to be 6 conference champions, and then 6 at large, and then when the Pac-12 dismantled, it became 5 and 7. But I appreciate the fact that they made room for the top 5 conference champions, and that there is room for a group of 5 champion in this. Now, I think there's people seething that how on earth can a group of 5 champion leapfrog a power conference champion and get the bye? People are losing their minds. But Clemson's got, 3 losses?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Boise State, they got it right. The only argument, and again, these things work. If you go back and look at the 14 playoff and go look at it, every year it worked. It played itself out, except for the argument on Florida State last year. That's the only time you had a real issue.
Yeah, no coincidence that right after the Florida State debacle, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you were on the board of they should have been in.
Last year, I thought Florida State should have got in. Yeah, I did. I mean, they were undefeated. I get they lost their quarterback, but they were undefeated and won a power conference.
Yeah,
I did.
And real quick, caller Larry wanted me to recognize Charlie in Rio Rancho. I guess was a national championship winner for cross country over the weekend.
Boy, Charlie, that's really cool. I did not know that, and that's really cool. All right, Louisville fan, Aggie fan, let's go. I got you. I know what happened this weekend. I was at the pit along with 15,410 others. That night that was, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Get into that. The NFL. We'll reset you at the top. Zay's in for JJ. I am merely Jeff Symbieta. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
For 5 years running.
It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Yeah, I'm stoked for Charlie, man. Congratulations to Charlie on the crowd. It's not, what the caller tell you, say it's not all about football?
Yes, it's not all about football.
Yeah, but those segments were. I mean, look, those were. Look, man, that's when those two coaches were available, and that's when we put them on.
You got to do what you got to do.
No, I mean, look. You want to call in about cross country? The number is 505-246-0610. It's where we are. Jeff Symbieta and Isaiah Johnson here today. Zay, get used to Zay, man. Zay's going to get a whole lot of mic time here in the next few weeks here on these Sports Animal. Really on our show a lot, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well, I got. You get to the end of the year, and I get bowl week off because, well,
of course,
it's not really off. I'm just not here,
mm-hmm.
and I got a bunch of vacation that I'm forced to burn.
You got to get it out.
I mean, it's either use it or don't use it.
Yeah.
So
I would use it if I was you.
Yeah. What am I, new? So, all right. So we're here for you. All right. Let's go. 505-246-0610. Your emails are coming in, and I got them. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You can watch the show. Adrian's produced on ProView Networks. There's a good-looking, strapping young buck right there. He is right there on your screen. It's on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. Xfinity Channel 26. We're live all around the state of New Mexico and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Got the NFL for you. 89-83, Aggies over the Lobos out at the pit on Saturday night in overtime. Nelly Jr. Joseph 16 and 17 for the Lobos, but Robert Carpenter with 6 threes, had 20 points, and this was a crazy one, right? This one was one of the craziest innings I've ever had. Christian Cook had 27 for NMSU. Aggies were on a 5-game losing streak. Aggies had lost, or they were 20.5-point dogs. And I'm not going to lie, I hadn't watched a bunch of them yet. And they looked like a hell of a team. They looked athletic. They were hitting threes. They hit 14 out of their 31 three-pointers. And then Zay, and I want you to be very clear on this. Mm-hmm. When I talk about Robert Carpenter's play at the end of regulation, okay, I am not calling him stupid. I am not saying but that goaltending was one of the dumbest plays I've ever seen in sports.
Not smart. Maybe intrusive thoughts won.
Okay.
Like, that shot, if it goes in, the game's tied, and you just really don't want it to go in. So you just.
But nothing good happens for you to go up and try. Like, it's goaltending. Nothing good happens. And by the way, where I was sitting, I was dead on with the shot. There was no way it was going. It was short and it was a little right.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the 3.5 seconds to go. Richard Pitino calls timeout. The ball is being inbounded in front of his bench. Lobos are down by 3 at the end of regulation. By the way, this will be on bad beats because if you have the under at 150.5, game is over. But it went to overtime, and you would have won if there was no goaltending if you had the under. And, well, sorry if you had the under because it went over in overtime. They run up a play. They get a good look. Braden Applehans gets a shot off from the corner. It is, again, it's going to be short. And Robert Carpenter goes up like on a playground or in like shoot around to just block it off the rim. I mean, everybody who's ever played basketball knows, even if you block that shot, it's goaltending. It's nothing good can happen. And he touched it as it was hitting the rim. They went and replayed it. And it's funny that being in the pit, like that groan, and where I was sitting, I looked over and I'm like, I pointed at that referee and I'm like, he's calling goaltending. And then the place started to realize it and started to roar, goaltending, basket goes, we go to overtime, and you figure for sure New Mexico's going to win. They got an unbelievable break. Aggies go on a 10-point run and win the game 89-83. Please, I'm not calling the young man dumb or stupid, but that play was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever, and I've watched sports for a long time. I'm an old man at this point, man.
Yeah.
Easy.
I don't think so,
but yeah. Chad, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Chad.
Hey guys. Speaker. I hope you guys can hear me, but
Yeah.
I am, the ending of that was crazy. I completely got a second life there. And I thought, we're going to take advantage of this. And obviously we didn't, but, just some things on the team. I feel like we kind of have to have a come to Jesus moment with the team. We got to have the guys have to talk this out, because this is, you could tell the effort wasn't there on defense. They were getting a lot of threes that were not being contested. There's just something going on, and we're so much better than this. And I don't know, Pitino usually does, he's a great coach. He'll do the leading. I think the players have to do it this time. They have a whole week to kind of talk things out, and I think some things need to be said going forward, because we know we're better than this, but it's got to come from the players.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I think they're better. And I think Richard really felt on this one. I thought afterwards, like, wow, this one hurt. And look, when you start talking resumes in March, right now, that's a quad 4 loss at home. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a sugarcoat for you. You know what I'm saying? You could tell me it's a rivalry game, and those things go either way. And
that's where I was going with it.
And you're right. And you're right. Right.
Like, it was their championship game, and the Lobos maybe thought it was going to be an easy one.
I don't know if they thought it. Maybe they did. We've talked about this team a little bit. Is it harder to get up for, a game like that than it is the UCLA game? Like, I was at the UCLA game in Vegas. And this team came out and they played their asses off right from the jump. They fell. So New Mexico falls from, I think they were at 60. They fall down to 86 net.
So do you think of these teams, if you were just to brainwash them both and they didn't know it was New Mexico versus New Mexico State, do you think that I believe the Lobos would have won the game. I think the rivalry and it being
State. So you think State played up to another level? In New Mexico State right now is 222.
Yeah, I mean, if they're on a losing streak, and the Lobos, they beat UCLA. They're competitive in all of the games where they play ranked teams. And New Mexico State coming on a losing streak.
But I want you to go back and look at the game prior. Are they better than San Jose State? I mean, you think they are, right? Mm-hmm. They had a struggle to come back at the end and beat San Jose State on Wednesday. They're not playing. Richard said it. He said, we're not playing well right now. And he's not wrong.
Do you think there could be chemistry? I don't want to put that in
I don't know that that's it. I mean, look, I think this is a good team. Somebody asked me yesterday, do you think we're just not as good as we think we are? Well, maybe. I don't know. It's 7-3. You've got a couple of really good wins, man. I mean, the SC win's nice. The UCLA win's really nice. It was a rough night for the whole league. But I know you don't care about the league. I just look at this, like, you look good against Texas Southern and Grambling and Corpus Christi. I think he will figure this out. I think he's a hell of a coach. Okay, I really do. You got a big test on the 18th. But your margin for error kind of went out the window now.
Yeah, you find yourself in a similar position. I mean, I don't know if it's as bad as the Lobos were after the Montana State game, but is it comparable to that at all?
I think it's worse because I'll tell you why. Because your expectations are way higher than your football team was, and it's comparable. I like the comp on it. I really do, because in retrospect, that game, and Montana State just won again this weekend. They're the number 1 ranked team in FCS. That's a really damn good football team.
Yeah.
I know people don't want to believe that, but they might be the best FCS team in America. We'll
Yeah.
see. They're in the quarterfinals now. But this is, as you think you're an NCAA tournament team, and if you're in the at-large resume pool, this is going to be a tough one to get over. Now you've got to beat VCU at home, and you're going to have to get some of these good RPI games or net games. You're going to have to beat San Diego State, Utah State, Boise State somewhere.
Yeah, and I wouldn't jump to the conclusion of saying they're not as good as we think they are.
Yeah, I don't know that's right either.
If I remember correctly, wasn't the state game very close last year?
The one down there, Donovan Dent had to hit that bucket, that coast-to-coast bucket at the end to win the game down there. They won by 40 here. They played twice, but yeah, they won by 40 here, and then they went down there, and Dent had to have that coast-to-coast reverse twist layup shot to win the thing down there. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got, Mike? Is that what you told me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Mike.
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday to you. Thanks for taking my call. I just got a couple of comments here. It's sort of about the Lobos, like about this loss with the Aggies. Tough game, but like the last caller said, something's going on with the basketball team. Something's up with them. They just didn't have the same heart, like you said, that they had in the UCLA game. It didn't look right. They didn't look right in that game. But I want to come back and touch on two other little things. The first thing is the news from last week about Bronco Mendenhall. Like, instead of, and just in my opinion, good. I think that's a good thing. Get out of here, man. If you ain't here for the long term, be gone. What's coming next is always coming better. But I think one of the issues is that, the Lobos are not known for anything. They're not known for anything. They have no reputation. They're not a tough team. They're not any of these teams, like with the academy schools, for example. You're going to get the triple option. They're going to play hard. And it's like the record that the Lobos had last year, all the goodness, it might have been the coach. And that's kind of how he could feel. Really, really cool. Go ahead.
No, let me tell you something. I don't think this is the end like so many do. I think, I know. I know that there's some really good coaches with really good track records who are interested in this job.
Yeah, I want to pick your brain.
For sure.
About that.
Would it be a stepping stone? Whatever, man. Everybody's a stepping stone. Roy Williams, didn't he leave Kansas to go to Carolina? Like, wasn't that a stepping stone? Like, what do you care? Now, you want him to be here more than a year and blow all the smoke up your backside that this guy did, right? I get that. And you feel jilted, and you should be. And right now with everybody in the portal, what makes you think Devin Dampier wasn't going in the portal anyway, right?
Exactly.
I think if Fernando Lobo acts relatively quickly and finds a really good, and I think there's good coaches out there that can put this thing together, I think you're going to be okay. I know people are losing their mind because they're jilted by this. I just don't think it's the end of the world like some people do.
Not at all. And plus, he was bouncing anyway. First time somebody came with a little bit bigger, better, more reasonable offer, whatever, he was gone. But the point is, look at what he was able to do in 1 year, and not just him.
Good, man.
Look at what he was able to gather from the team. The team did that in 1 year, and they could do it again next year.
Hey,
And
Mike,
my last point,
wait, Mike, one more point.
Yo.
They were one game better than they were the year before. They were 5-7, and the year before they were 4-8, and that 4-8 team lost in overtime to Utah State at the end, and you keep going back to the 2-point conversion. They were one game better. It was the players that were here. Yeah, he went out and got an offensive line. Like, I don't want this whole, they built this thing from scratch. It was in shambles.
Right.
It wasn't. He didn't come in here and this thing was just a dumpster fire. It wasn't.
I completely agree with that. And I'm saying is that the players, what is already at UNM is already prized. The next guy that's going to come in quick is should be able to pick right up and keep going. 5 wins, 4 or 5. Let's keep going.
Gotcha.
Keep building this thing up.
All
It's
right,
not over.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you. All right, keep them coming. I got 2 lines open, 505-246-0610. Must take this break because, I'm late and I got Zay all over me like, dude, take the break. I'm kidding. Keep them coming at 505-246-0610. If you are looking to host an event, a venue is right here across the street from us in the heart of downtown. It is the beautiful Albuquerque Convention Center. They will handle anything imaginable, from intimate meetings and gatherings to grand expos and conferences. They got staff, service, food and beverage options. It goes above and beyond. It makes your dream event a reality right here at the center of it all. Parking adjacent, easy to get to, wonderful staff. That's why we will host the teams, Louisiana and TCU, at the Isleta New Mexico Bowl there during Bowl Week. Why? Because they take care of our guests. They will take care of you as well. I know you've been to events there. If you're hosting an event, anything from 10 people to 20,000, Albuquerque Convention Center is your spot. Visit albuquerquecc.com or give them a call at 505-768-4575, area code 505-768-4575. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo.
2460610. You guys are in. Jerry, thank you for holding. Jerry, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. First of all, I want to thank Rick Wright for a good article calling a spade a spade. Holy moly. He had me hook, line, and sinker, but thank you, Rick, for straightening me and him out.
Explain.
What a phony. Adios. Basketball game, man. I'll tell you what, I walked into the pit, and you know how normally you walk in and you go, wow, this is going to be a pit game? There was absolutely no energy before the tip-off. And then the way we came out and played, it was like we were strolling around like, hey, we're better than you guys. Just get out of our way. We're going to make a few buckets. So we get up 10 points and stroll around, and they start popping threes. And then we put our Olay defense in, and it was like, Olay, go on, make this shot. It was just horrible. And then I realized after the game that without House in the game, we don't really have that spark. And we wouldn't have lost that game with House if he was playing this year. And as good a point guard as Donovan Dent is, his leadership right now is not very good. He's playing horrible on defense. He coasts on defense, and when he can't drive, he can't dish, and he can't shoot. So that's a problem. But the other problem that I saw is, Richard Pitino didn't do a whole lot of coaching, in my opinion. Should have called a timeout to slow their momentum down a few times. I didn't think he did. We should have tried to press or something.
Oh, there was pressure late in the game. He did.
Okay. Well, to me, that was the least exciting New Mexico State basketball game I've ever watched in the pit.
All right, so what do you think at the end when dude had the goaltending and you're going to overtime? Because that was bonkers.
Yeah, I thought, man, thank you very much. And I thought for sure we'll come out with a little energy and get it going here. So we score the first two points. Then they go down and make a three. We go down and miss one, and they make another, and it's all over with. Yeah. It was just typical. We didn't deserve to win that game.
I agree with that. I will agree with that. All right, man. So, go ahead.
Well, let me ask you this one last thing.
Yeah.
Is something going on? We got the fight and all that stuff. It doesn't, it doesn't seem right. So we'll find out.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I don't know, to be honest with you. So I spent a little time with the team, and I thought that was a pretty good vibe around the team. I got like nothing that I could tell you that makes me think that there's something going on there. Now I wasn't on the trip where supposedly something happened. Where, obviously something happened. But is something going on internally? I don't know. I think they're just not playing incredibly well right now. I think that I'm trying to find the box score in that game again. I don't know. I don't know that I think something's internally. Where they shoot from the 10 for 32. Yeah, Richard's gonna have to figure it out. They're not playing well defensively. Boy, New Mexico State got a lot of looks. New Mexico State shot the hell out of the ball. That was a big game for New Mexico State, and I will argue with you that even though there were 15,000 people there, that game probably, or this is just me now, okay? Mm-hmm. It felt to me that game meant more to the players for New Mexico State than it did New Mexico.
Yeah, and I mean, just with New Mexico being the better basketball team, I think that automatically becomes a factor unless the Lobos are, making up scenarios or, just finding their own motivation. So if the vibes were good, then maybe that's a game where the vibes should have been more serious. Maybe they were too good. Like maybe there was, you're imagining it's going to be an easy, simple game. I can't imagine that both teams playing their best, that the Lobos lose to the Aggies. I mean, I think it's a fact they're a better team.
I agree with you. Leonard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living?
Hey, sir. Good morning. I'd just like to give my opinion on the Lobo athletics. What's going to happen?
Yeah,
we're screwed.
Why?
Because we're never going to win a championship again. You get anybody good this year in basketball, they're going to be bought. That's going to be what's going to be happening the rest of our, sporting history. The players going to be bought and they're going to go. In football, it's the same thing. How long does it take to develop a unit? With everybody leaving and, after 1 year, especially if they're good, you got to start over again. And then if any coach does come in and win in his first year, he's going to go.
All right, so what do you do?
We tell the truth.
That
we're
we're
never going to
screwed?
be any good. We might be average if we're lucky, but they're going to buy us out any year. Every year that we have somebody that's good, they're going to get offered more money. And I don't think they're stupid. They're going to take it.
Yeah. All right, man.
That's it.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, brother.
No, you don't have to apologize to me, Leonard. Appreciate you. Doomsday's here for Leonard. Let me just tell you something. Everybody is losing guys. TCU will have guys in the portal that are going to go get paid. Alabama will have guys in the portal that are going to go get paid. You look at the portal. I was looking at it earlier because the transfer portal opens today. Literally, I'm looking at a live transfer portal. Oklahoma's quarterback is in the portal. Wait, you mean their guy gets paid too? USC's quarterback is in the portal. Texas A&M's quarterback is in the portal. Texas Tech, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma. I'm just looking at the names in the portal, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Lucky for us, we're not the only team that has those problems.
And you will get dudes from the portal. I like Leonard. I'm not going to argue with you that it sucks as a fan, and this happens all the time, and this is just the way it's going to be. Am I ready to just woe is me? Look, you're not Alabama. All right, I'll give you that. You're going to lose guys on a regular basis, and are you somewhat of a farm? Like I said this years ago, and JJ told me no, that won't happen. Well, it absolutely is happening. Now you're also bringing dudes in. Your best running back this year came from Iowa State, right? Iowa State played the Big 12 championship game the other day. So I don't like. You're never going to win a championship again. I don't know. Didn't you win cut down nets in men's basketball last year? You did, right? That was just last March. You cut down nets, right? That was this calendar year, in fact. Dan says last 7 days has been Lobo Athletics wake-up call. Jeffrey, No, Juan Jose, and Isaiah Johnson. It all started in the wee hours of Sunday, December 1st. It says, number one, with a pending New Mexico Bowl bid, Lobo football was stunned by a true Frosh quarterback in Hawaii. Number two, we find Shane Dumas Sanchez grill was busted by a teammate in Palm Springs. Number three, Lobo basketball sneaks by weeks Juan Jose State at Wise Pies. Number four, Bronco Bales. Number five, half a Lobo football team enters the portal. Holy bleep. Number six, Lady Lobos fouled at NMSU on Bob King Court. Number seven, Jason and Jerome's guys shock Lobo basketball walk out of dream style with a Rio Grande rivalry belt. Number eight, Lady Lobos blow late lead and fall in Las Cruces for Aggie sweep. Yeah, it's been a rough week.
Yeah.
The women got swept by New Mexico State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one hurts. And one little comment about football.
Yeah.
I think you have to figure out little other things to do to keep people there. Oregon obviously has mastered the uniforms. I believe.
And money.
Yes, and money, especially now. I think a big part of Boise State, I think a lot of their players, they like the fact that the field's blue. I mean, it may seem little to football fans, but as like a player, that's something you notice growing up. And it's like, I want to play on a field that's all blue. So, little things. What if the Lobos, their turf, they made it red? Like, I think even something small like that would add a little bit more of a culture. It would add an identity to the program, and it would help people not just hop in the transfer portal. You got to find ways to be different. Albuquerque obviously is very different with the green chili and a lot of things the city offers. But I think the program should figure out some things to make them unique, and that would help players stay.
I don't even think you can do colored fields anymore. I think that's been grandfathered. I don't know that they let you do that anymore. What do you want me to take this call? You want me to go to break?
You can take the call.
All right. What's up, Sean? You're on the Sports Animal. How you living?
Hey, good morning, guys. I think it's truly time for Lobo fans to kind of take a look in the mirror. I mean, I've heard this whole last week, kind of the crying about, how could Bronco leave towards, Utah State? It's a lateral move, et cetera. I mean, really think about it, though. Lobo football has been bad for decades, traditionally bad. And this goes for both schools. So, before anybody jumps in and says, oh, I'm just an Aggie hater, which, I am. But at the same time, let's be realistic. They've never won a Mountain West Conference championship. They have an overall losing tradition. So when people are like, how can he go to Utah State? Well, he's getting paid probably $800K more. There's more tradition, more support. It's a pretty easy thing. You look at both programs, and this goes for NMSU as well. When you go to hire somebody, you're looking to hire either a guy who's been fired and is trying to revamp their career or an up-and-comer. Now, there's layers to that. even with more money, UNM, they're looking at Richard Pitino. They're not looking at Rick Pitino for a hire, right? Because of money. So you can't be shocked when a Steve Alford leaves to UCLA for 3 times the salary. How is that shocking? Look yourself in the mirror. Realize you're a mid-major.
It happens everywhere. Didn't Lincoln Riley leave you? I'm not sorry. Not Lincoln Riley. The basketball coach for Florida Gulf Coast. I see him. Why am I forgetting his name? Anyway, he left to go to SMU, didn't he? He left USC for crying out loud. Andy Enfield is his name. Yeah. Right? I mean, it happens. Yeah. It's not just you, man. Someone comes calling with a bunch of more money and the seat's getting a little hot. Dudes leave everywhere.
Yeah.
And as far as the basketball game this last weekend, I'm just glad the Aggies extended it into overtime because obviously they knew they were going to win. They heard the "Let's Go Aggies" chants in Pan Am North, and they just wanted to extend the game a little more, just to break their hearts a little more. So thanks, guys.
That's so
Have a good
good,
day.
Sean. See ya. Like the stepping stone thing. I don't know, man. Do you change jobs? How long have you been at your job? You've been at your job 5 years? I mean, how many of you have been at your job for 15, 20, 30 years? I'm asking. You leave in your job to go somewhere where it's more lucrative. Will you be? Everybody's a damn stepping stone. Like honestly, with all due respect, go look everywhere. Didn't like Nick Saban was at LSU, then he went to the Dolphins, then he went to Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody gets plucked.
I think where fans are getting lost, and I say fans because I believe the players and like me and you, I think we know how it works. I think where the fans are getting lost in this is, like you said, the blowing the smoke up the backside. I think, you have to understand that when a coach is on a team, the good coaches, they're not going to be checked out before the season ends, even if they already know they're leaving. So for Bronco, he has to be talking confidence and instilling that into his team and saying,
in case it doesn't work out.
Yeah, all the slogans and everything. He has to, until it's official that he's gone, he has to be all in on the team. So I think the fans were taking it super personal, him saying, I'm here and, I want to build a program and I want to, change things around. You got to understand that's just for that year. He's not, it's not a guarantee.
It's the way it is now, man.
Yeah, the way it is now.
Yeah. All right, we got a break. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. Lobo fan, let's go. Aggie fan, get in, man. That guy just hit you, and that's fair. He hit you. They won. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
The holidays are...
Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Zero 610.
I think I might be afraid to do that. Zay said he Googled my name the other day. I'm like, holy bleep. game up. I'm afraid to do that. 505-246-0610. I am Jeff Symbieta. He is Isaiah Johnson in for JJ Buck. 505-246-0610. What line is Jeffrey on? Which let me try. Where do I go? I go to one first? I think that's right. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
I'm on the hotline, my friend.
Oh, it is hot, dude. It is so hot. What's happening?
It's not much, man. Hey, congratulations on the bowl teams. Dude, those are awesome. Louisiana plays like a really tough style of football. I think fans are going to really like watching that offense.
Nice. Yeah, I think so too, dude. I'm actually really excited. They're fun, and they get their quarterback, and their coach was on with us this morning, Michael Desormeaux, and he believes they're getting their number one guy. He got hurt in the South Alabama game, and then they were down to our true freshman in the champ game the other day. So they think they're getting their quarterback back. They're going to be fun. TCU is, a good, freaking talented, solid Big 12 football team. So yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah, I got to hear the interviews, but I had to step away for a little bit. And it's always fun when you get a team or some people that have never been to New Mexico, because we offer a really unique experience. From what I can tell, every time you've had teams here that have been in that population, they really, really love the experience and the atmosphere of New Mexico. So I think they're going to be in for a really good time off the field, and I think the fans are going to really enjoy the game on the field. It should be good. So, Lobo basketball. I don't know, man. Is it off the court distraction? But the thing that really was kind of tripping me out at the game was with just under 8 minutes left, we were up by 14, and by the end of the first half, they had gone on a 28-5 run. And then if you count the first 3.5 minutes where we didn't score the second half, it was like 32-7. And we just can't be a team that has these drastic swings where you get down by a lot of points and then just have to fight to come back. And then, you kind of run out of gas at the end, because if it wouldn't have been for the goaltending call, let's face it, we would have lost that game.
Which was unbelievable. Which was unreal.
How do you do that? Like, when you look at that, he literally was right in front of the basket and jumped, and it's just like all you had to do was let it miss.
Look, man, I'm not calling the young man stupid, please, and I'm not calling him dumb, but that was one of the dumbest plays I've ever seen.
Bonehead play, complete bonehead play. I was standing in a group of people. We watched it, and as soon as it happened, everybody's like, "Did that just happen?" Good for us, but we just we're losing it. So I don't know. I think they can pull it together, but that's one of those losses when you look at our schedule moving forward. Like, that's going to be a killer. Yes. So it makes winning every conference game, except splitting with maybe the top 2 or 3, even more important.
Yeah, that erased your margin of error. Yeah, that erased the margin of error now. You got a Q4 loss at home.
Yeah. Well, some people were telling me, like, "Oh, you're so negative." I'm just like, I'm not negative. I'm factual. It's factual. It's like, I want this team to win everything, but now it becomes even more important. We're going to have to knock someone off when we're not supposed to, or sweep a San Diego State or something. But like right now, it doesn't look good for at large.
Yeah,
and then lastly, we have to have a name for football by the end of this week. Would you agree?
I think you will. I think
Wednesday we'll hear the speculation. Friday we'll have the hire.
Yeah, I think it happens this week. Yeah, I think you will. All right, man.
Right. Cool. Have a good day, man.
See you. Anthony, good morning. You're on the Sports Channel. Hi, Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
No, this is Jeffrey.
All right. Well, I took Jeffrey. Sorry, man. What's up, dude?
It's okay. Hey, Lobo basketball, just wanted to revisit an obvious point, but, this is a concerning trend now, because this is the second game in a row where the Lobos, they don't initiate this sense of urgency until the circumstances become desperate. And the obvious point is, good, solid teams with solid on-court and coaching leadership, there's a sense of intensity from the tip-off. And I understand no team's going to play with intensity for 40 solid minutes. But my gosh, they're just these lapses of defensive intensity that just seem, so self-evident. And the other point that's a little concerning as well, I'm not convinced, Jeff, that this team is a very consistent outside shooting team. And that's something that needs to be addressed as well. But just the lack of urgency just really is annoying as a fan. I know I saw you at the game, and they were already down 10, 11 points at the half. So it's not like the Lobos had control of that game at all. Really, they had some sense of control, but for the first 5 minutes, and then really New Mexico State dominated the Lobos, frankly, for 80% of that game. And that's pretty concerning. The lack of urgency. It should not manifest itself when desperate circumstances, materialize because of their lack of intensity. And that's the biggest concern for me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
I got to take this break. Sean, stay there. I got to hit you. We'll hit you when we come back. 505-246-0610. There's a lot to talk about, and you got a lot to say. Love hearing it on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com.
What's going on, gentlemen? Hey, I was at that game Saturday night as well. My voice, you could tell, was not that great. But who called in and said that crowd wasn't electric? That pit was rocking,
I thought it was too, man. Yeah, it was Jeff. And he said when he went in, he didn't feel the energy. Maybe not as you walked in the building, but I thought the pit crowd brought it on. You can't put it on the crowd.
No, I can't put on the crowd. And to me, watching that game, I think the issue is, first of all, the Lobos just shot horrible, right? I mean, when Mustafa goes, 2 for 17 or something like that, 2 for 16. True went 3 for 9, and CJ went 3 for 12. When you do that, you're not going to win many games. And I think what's going on is it doesn't seem like Coach Pitino settled on the rotation yet.
Yeah, I think that's
every night he's trying to search for somebody else to come off the bench. And when he plays Philippe and Mustafa at the same time, defensively, guys, we're not going to stop anybody. Those guys can't get through picks. They're not getting out on people. They're not quick on their feet.
Let me ask you this:
they look better on defense when they got Sacco out there. Sacco at least defends. He's boarding. He's pushing people around. And then as far as Donovan's game, I mean, when Nelly shoots more threes than Donnie, we have an issue. I don't care if Donnie goes 0 for 6 from 3-point line. He's got to shoot. They're just sagging off him now.
Yeah, let me ask you this:
they're putting on him and sagging. He can't drive, and people are like, "Oh, he's not driving." It's because they're playing him 5 feet. They're 5 feet from him. They're letting him just shoot if he wants to shoot. And when he tries to drive, it's a quick little angle to cut him off, and they're putting length on him. He needs to just shoot the ball. Fosco, I tell Donnie, you better put up 4 or 5 threes a game. I don't care if you go 0 for 5, 0 for 4. You better get that ball up, get it off the rim, and let's go get some offensive rebounds. But
he didn't shoot
that
any.
game changed when they put Dotson in the game. When he went with 2 point guards. Dotson as a freshman, I know he's a freshman, he's going to make mistakes, but he's aggressive. He takes the ball to the rack. He'll shoot the 3 if he's open. Yeah. He'll defend. He'll fight through picks. And in the overtime, when they pulled him, when Pitino pulled Dotson, I looked over to my wife and my brother and I said, "That's it. I mean, that's the guy that got us back in the game." He pulled him in the overtime. I said, they're going to get out to a quick start on us. And next thing you know, they scored the first 6 points overtime. The game was over. They did. I just think Patino's just doing a horrible job right now with his rotation. He's just searching, and he doesn't look like he has any answers.
Got it.
He's got to figure something out, and he has to get down and start shooting the ball.
Yeah,
and he can't put three bad defensive players like Brandon and Felipe and Mustafa on the court at the same time, if that happens, the other teams get runs. And people are like, what's going on? They just want a 9-0 run. Yeah, we can't defend. We can't rebound.
All right. No, there's a lot in there, Anthony. Thank you. So one thing on the defense, and because I just get another one on defense, I'd like to see Borovichinen a little bit. I like his length. Now, I don't know if he's quick enough to stay with guards, and I guess I just haven't seen enough. But I do know that New Mexico State had a lot of open looks, and they shot 31 3-pointers and made 14 of them. And Lobo fan is cranky. Like you're feeling it, Zay. Let me start. I mean, goodness gracious, the text line has gone crazy too.
Uh-oh.
No, it's good.
It's a great thing.
I mean, it's what it's there for. I'll read them from. God, I should go all the way to the top, huh? Holy smokes, there's a bunch of them. NMSU with less than half of the talent of UNM, but twice the heart. They took what resembled a YMCA pickup squad into the pit and got the unlikely win. Shame on you, Richard Pitino, and your overpaid, complacent NIL fat cats.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
At least the expectation is high.
Look at you, silver linings, Zay.
I mean, we're doing something right. Expecting greatness is expected.
A last-minute field goal. Oh, that's something else. 89-83, the most beautiful thing is Lobo fan crying on the radio today. The Homer announcers on the Mountain West Conference Network having to eat the loss and hearing the tangible disappointment in their voices. That's what I got on the text line. You can keep them coming. I'll you send them. I'll read them. 505-246-0610. He's Isaiah in for JJ. I am merely Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
New Mexico celebrates the holiday season with the 19th Isleta New Mexico Bowl. Our state's premier annual sports event is Saturday, December 28th at University Stadium. College football's postseason with New Mexico flavor. All your info is at NewMexicoBowl.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I know you're big in with those muckety mucks, the people have offices and stuff. We got to maybe update that. I think it's 8 out of last night. I got to go count the trophies. JJ told me. No, I think it's 8. I think it's not 5 because I don't know if it's 5 in a row anymore. I think it was one year we might have got edged.
Really?
I think it's 8 out of 9, if I'm not mistaken. But it doesn't matter, does it? It's about the content and not the awards. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta. Zay is in for JJ. It's Zay. Can you be Zay Buck?
I can do that. Yeah. I guess we can do that.
Be Zay Buck?
Yes.
Thanks for getting up this morning. I know you're not a morning guy. I know you probably still got to do the afternoon show today, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
But it's nothing but adjustment.
They'll work you a little bit. Appreciate you answering all the phones, and I kind of ran you around a little bit this morning, huh?
It's all cool. I love it for sports.
Good. At 9:25 this morning, we'll give away the 12 jerseys of Christmas from our friends over at All in Autographs. We got a mystery box with a signed jersey. So we'll do that at 9:25. This morning, if you missed it, it's all available for you over on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You go to the opening drive. We had conversations with Michael Desormeaux, the head football coach at Louisiana. I thought that was really cool. And then Sonny Dykes, the head coach at TCU. It's going to be TCU 8-4 out of the Big 12 against Louisiana 10-3. Sun Belt runner-up playing in the Isleta, New Mexico Bowl. Both those conversations are available for you, right? You'll be able to put in that. I'm assuming you can do that, right?
Of course.
All right. I'm assuming, which is a bad idea. You're in on Lobo basketball. You can get in on the NFL this weekend. I'm going to assume you saw this. Juan Soto, the former Yankee National Padre, is now a Met.
Mister, I want to go to a winning team himself.
15 years, $765 million. Let me say that again. $765 million.
That's all?
It includes an opt-out after 5 years and no deferred money. So if he chooses to opt out, his deal will go up $4 million a year, from $51 million to $55 million a year. So the total contract could exceed $800 million. Oh, and by the way, you got a $75 million signing bonus. How'd you like to sign today and check your bank account and whatever's left after taxes on $75 million?
I wouldn't mind it. I'd go buy that Cadillac I've been looking at.
Which one?
I want that CT6.
Is that what you like?
I love the CT6.
I'm down with that. All right.
$30,000, and I'll save the rest of the money.
Yeah, dude. You can't spend $800 million, can you?
If I tried really, really hard, maybe.
I mean, $800 million. So that's the deal. 26 years old, $800 million.
It's insane.
All right. So good on you.
He could open up his own baseball franchise.
He can do whatever the hell he wants. Am I wrong?
Not at all.
He can do whatever the hell he wants.
I mean, you add sponsors, that's definitely you're touching a Billy.
Look, man. All right. You're in on the you guys are super vocal today. 505-246-0610. The phone's been ringing. The text line's popping. I'll read them to you because you're cranky. Notice Lobo Hoops fans are extremely silent today as opposed to how verbal they were last week. Where are they? No, they've been in, man. But that came in this morning. All right. What the hell was that call, Leonard? This was Leonard called in and said, we're done. This is it. We're never going to win again, and it's over. And
Mr. Doomsday?
Yeah, he was the Doomsday call. This is what the hell was that call, Leonard? Does he remember that UNM won the Mountain West Conference Championship last season? Every team has transfers, every single one. Lobos are immune from what's happening in college athletics nationally. The answer, reinvest, reload, and rebuild. More money, not less, is the answer for what pleasures our athletics programs. That's from Travis.
Huh? Travis.
It was this calendar year you cut down nets. Yes, that did happen this calendar year. All right. And this one says, in response to people complaining about players transferring, getting a scholarship does not guarantee 4 years of a sport. At the end of the season, coaches have exit interviews. Often players are told they aren't good fit and didn't meet the coach's expectations, and their scholarships aren't renewed. Why isn't it okay when a player tells a coach they, the team, isn't a good fit for the player's expectations? The players enter the portal to see what their options are. A huge percentage of these callers have a LinkedIn account. Why? That's fair. Look, you're not wrong. A lot of times, we always say the players are bailing. A lot of times, it's been recommended that they bail.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had exit interviews, right?
Yeah, I've had some.
I mean, I'm sure yours went well, but some of your buddies were probably told maybe this isn't the fit. This one says, good morning, fellas. So there's no more Mendenhall Mondays, LOL, on the OD in the AM? Wow, that was quick. Good riddance, Coach. Thanks. It's John in the Duke City. This one says, the Lobo basketball team just doesn't seem to have that killer mentality. It can develop, but there needs to be that guy. We don't have a Jalen House, Kendall Williams, or Darrington Hobson type player. I'm not necessarily referring to scoring. I'm referring to an absolute mentally tough dog that keeps energy up and isn't afraid to get in the face of an opponent during play. We need to put the boot on the neck of teams when we have them down. All right? These are coming in at 505-246-0610. These are texts. This one says, I might be the only one who thinks Donnie is a liability on the defensive end. What's your thoughts? And substitution needs to be better. Why not leave Sacco in there? I was at the game, and Sacco can move his feet with a guard and jump out of the building. BA was hot, but taken out for defense. Am I wrong? But was anybody playing defense out there? Look, defense was an issue the other night. You can't argue when you gave up that many points, 89 points to a team that was on a 5-game lose streak now. 47 in the first half. They only scored 26 to the Aggies in the second half. It got better, but they had open looks. That can't be right.
I was going to say 26 in the second half and it's still
that's legit. Like you're okay at 26.
Yeah. If you held a team to 26 points in the second half and it was still a competitive game, I mean, you weren't scoring enough. And so I think it goes back to the 3-point shooting that a lot of the callers have referred to.
Yep. All right. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. Lobo Hobo or Lovo Hobo says, lowest point in the history of the OD, Jeff? In Friday's closing seconds, Lovo called this a special place, and he was not challenged. There's nothing special about 14,000 announced on senior night against the number 19 club in the country. A dumpy old stadium, albeit even if Wazoo was overrated. Wow. There's some doomsday out there.
Wow.
All right. Well, I mean, so you call it whatever you want. I mean, he called it a special place.
Sheesh. Where's he?
I mean, not everybody hates this place.
There's an optimism.
Not everybody just hates it. I mean, look, I did Fernando Lobo say some stuff on here the other day that, Rick Wright in his story said he mastered I'm paraphrasing, he's mastered the art of speaking a lot and not saying anything. I mean, he spoke and he has his talking points and he went back and there were a lot of ums and and I'm not going to get into like a reporter told me this week, if I played the game, I'm not going to get into details. And it was a drinking game. He said, I'd be drunk till Sundays. What somebody told me that. And he says, I'm not going to get into details. So he didn't tell you very much.
Yeah. Do you think a lot of that maybe is just him, not second guessing, but he's trying to filter everything he says. He's like running everything through a mental filter before it comes out.
Absolutely he is. And, there's catchphrases and he talks about how excited he is to be here and it's going to be about the student athletes. And he's got his catchphrases. But yeah, I mean, I appreciated him coming on. I did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was a lot of, we're not going to get into details and okay. I mean, I got it. Gopher says, Lobo basketball hot take. Jeff, I've heard a lot of theories from Lobo fans the last 36 hours. Like Shane Donovan is more tired and banged up and we're being told that would be Donovan Dent. But mine is simple. Maybe Lobo basketball just isn't that good. It might be. Yeah, it might be. We're going to find out, aren't we?
Again, I think that's just an effect of everyone's comparing it to last year with Jalen House.
No, they're comparing it to losing to a 260-something net ranked team who was a 20.5-point dog that came into your house and beat you.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, like there's no sugarcoating that. Say.
Yeah, that'll ruffle some feathers.
I mean, honestly, you sugarcoat it for me. I'm listening.
Look, there's bad games. There's bad games, and it is. I know you started off and you kind of deaded it before I could even really get to it, but I think the rivalry part.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't want to give excuses out, but of course, across all sports, when there's a rivalry game, no matter how much better one team is, you're expecting things to be close, especially if the players know each other and they're familiar with each other. And it just, psychologically, maybe whoever it was, I think it was Jeffrey, says he came in and,
the building was dead.
Yeah, the energy was off.
I didn't feel that, though.
I think maybe that was a little bit of projection. You could just see it coming, maybe had a feeling that the rivalry game would be closer than it was supposed to be.
Well, I think there's a lot to be said about rivalry. I do. I mean, Georgia Tech, Georgia, 2 weekends ago, right? They won 8 overtimes.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's better than Georgia Tech, right?
Yes.
And Georgia Tech that night looked like a better team. They lost in 8 overtimes, but they I mean, at least as good. So I think there's something to that. The problem is, and this is why, when I say I can't sugarcoat it, computers don't know that. Mm-hmm. And when you go into the net ranking thing and look, these games are going to matter in March. And when you start going through the resume, like you all better just really hope New Mexico State gets better and looks like that team and makes a little run and starts doing some nice things in Conference USA.
It's a good angle.
And that's where people are. That's why they're like, what the hell was that? Yeah, it was. Look, it's been a rough week. All right, 505-246-0610, 925. We'll give out that jersey from All In Autographs. If you are shopping for that wow gift, and it is wow gift giving season, John Thomas Jewelers is your spot. They are the only 5-star Google rated full service jewelry store in Albuquerque. They are the fastest growing jeweler in New Mexico for 3 straight years. Been voted best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 straight years. Even America's coolest jewelry store by In-Store Magazine. They're phenomenal. And it's different, man. When the first time I walked in there, I realized, well, this is a different spot. They've got an on-site, state-of-the-art design center. That means they can design whatever piece you want right there. Like he was showing me pictures. Some guy sent him a picture of a leaf, and he made the pendant out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's that cool. They have over 3,000 ladies and men's bridal rings right there on hand to try on and figure out what you want. So if you're looking for an engagement ring or an anniversary gift or a holiday gift, whatever it is you are looking for, John Thomas Jeweler is it. It's you're not going to run into it. You got to go find them. They're on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal. It's the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, so it's right across the street from the mall to the east. 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310. JohnThomasJewelers.com. Go check them out.
The Christmas season.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
New Mexico celebrates the holiday season with the 19th Isleta New Mexico Bowl. Our state's premier annual sports event is Saturday, December 28th at University Stadium. College football's postseason with New Mexico flavor. All your info is at NewMexicoBowl.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today. If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Mystery box here coming up in a little bit. What about basketball? Loses to New Mexico State, 89-83 on the men's side. The ladies, New Mexico State sweeps the Lobos. They win in the pit on Friday. And then Molly Kaiser scored 30 points yesterday down in Las Cruces. Aggies beat New Mexico 68-60. Last night, you heard that here on These Sports Animals. So, yeah, it was a rough week, man. If you're a Lobo fan, it was a rough week. We got a lot of correspondence here on the emails and the text. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com or on the text line 505-246-0610. Isaiah's in for JJ today. Phone line's open 505-246-0610. Jackson's vacation, WTH, Jeffrey. Why don't you burn it over the summer when the weather was nice? My employer lets you carry some over into the new year to avoid exactly what you're doing. They don't want the whole office out in December. It's hard to do business like that. Look, man, I don't make the rules.
Telling you how to take your vacation. I love it.
Yeah, I don't make the rules. I just, great take, Leonard. Jeff, that might be the OD call of the month from Ron. So Ron's all into the doomsday.
Yeah.
Well, we're done. We're never going to win again, and all our players are going to go, and we're dead. All right. Ron says reply to Isaiah.
Uh-oh.
Jeff, remember last year when Boise State got blued out of the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl? We heard that their mystique was gone. They were just another Group of 5 program. The novelty of the blue court was tired and worn out. Don't really remember that, but I think they lost in the LA Bowl to UCLA, if I'm not wrong.
Well, yeah, for sure. If you do it and then, you're starting to lose on that field or things aren't going well, of course, it's going to naturally. I don't think anybody will get sick of it, but
I'm sick of the blue. I hate watching games. No, honestly, it's nothing against them. I just don't enjoy watching the game on that background. I don't like that. That's just my preference.
As crazy as it sounds, somewhere there's a kid who his favorite color is blue.
Promise.
And he really likes the fact that field's color. Maybe it's not Ashton Genty. Like maybe I doubt that's why he didn't enter the transfer portal, because he likes the color blue or anything. But it's a pull. Anything that just adds.
It's different.
Yes.
No, I get it. I look, I understand what the blue means. I just as far as watching a television game on that, I don't enjoy it.
Mhm.
Like it hurts.
You wouldn't want to see a red field?
There is a red field. Go look at Eastern Washington's field.
For the Lobos.
No, I would not. That's just me.
Well,
yeah.
The man has spoken.
Have you looked at it? Well, I mean, you just asked me a question. I gave you an answer. Have you seen Eastern Washington's field?
No, I'm going to
Google
look it
it
up right now.
Yeah, look at it. Tell me what you think of that. John says, basketball. Hey, guys, I'm a huge fan of this basketball team, but that effort on all sides was horrible. I'm hoarse today from yelling no every time they shot a three and used the damn backboard over and over again. The two things in the 60% at the line, the same problems we keep having. We miss 25 layups because we don't use the backboard. We keep firing up threes even though we aren't hitting them, yet coach letting them take them. I just don't get what he was thinking. I mean, he took BA out when he was the hot and never put him in again. He lets Dent whine and cry at the refs like he's LeBron and won't get anyone to that 1A guy that Mashburn was. To be fair, I think True was sick. He went to the locker room when BA came in during the first half and didn't look right. And I think a lot of the offense runs through the two spot because when Dotson to play the two game in, things kind of stabilized. I think we will get it together, but I also think we need to be more than good in the Mountain West Conference and think Way may need another trophy in Vegas to be dancing. Have a good day, guys. It's from John. Okay.
All right.
It's a lot in there.
By the way, this field.
What?
I'm not biased or anything for the colored field idea, but I think it looks pretty cool.
You like that red field?
I think it's cool.
Right.
I think it's really cool. And then to have the fans like wearing all red, I think it would just add some. What's the word I'm looking for?
I'm not sure.
Culture, not culture, just
identity.
Identity, and it would just give, the Lobos an identity.
All right, so you're pushing for a red field.
I think a red field would help.
Eastern Michigan has a gray field.
I think that looks really cool.
You like that one too?
Eastern Michigan's looks cool to me.
Okay. All right. Chris says on the I-25 rivalry, good morning, gentlemen. He's talking to you. First time emailing, so here we go. Why is it when a team loses, the default is Team X is better than the team that beat them? Then why play the game? I take issue with that comment. Give NMSU credit. They beat UNM for 40 minutes. And then when 40 minutes wasn't enough, they used the next 5 to show that the first 40 minutes were not a fluke. Yeah, you beat UCLA and USC. Ever stop to think that teams now have tape on UNM and have the blueprint to beat this team? Even in their big wins, they had some deficiencies, but winning is the best deodorant. Dent looked rattled. The bigs actually had to chase people around the court. Some Lobos don't play great on-ball defense and couldn't stay in front of Bostic or Jackson. All that was on display. Give it up for Jerome, Jason, and Sean's guys. I haven't heard a Jason email in a minute. I would hope to hear one of those elbow from the top of the rope email from the legend. So would I. Sean, Pan Am North, it did sound great to hear Aggie fans chanting and Lobos silent. I would like to correct an erroneous statement. The Aggies beat the Lobos in 2021. So in the last 4 games, the Aggies and Lobos are 2-2. They did not play in 22-23 with 2 wins in the pit. So much for that home court advantage. Can we stop the false narrative of dominance? The word dominance is giving Lobo fan and the media members the side eye when they use it. Can't wait for the rematch. Oh, wait. Hoping this email meets with the approval of my Aggie brethren. It's from Chris. That was good, Chris. It was really. I actually would love a Jason email today. We should get a legend email. I don't know that you or I talked about dominance or one team's better. I mean, I watched that game and the team that won looked like the better team. Like if I dropped in from Mars and didn't know records and didn't know point spreads, and I would have thought on that night the team in the dark uniforms was better.
Yeah, where the difference is, I think I was the one who kind of said that. What I meant was total body of work over the course of a season. I would believe the Lobos were a better team, but there, any game, any given Sunday, any given Saturday, a team can play better, especially in basketball. It's not like football where some things you can make it for certain. Like our offensive line is better than your defensive line, so we're going to exploit that. Or, I mean, in basketball, if the ball's not falling, it's not falling. Now, as far as defense, and that's an effort thing. It's a thing that can be coached, game plan better against. I think the Aggies were obviously the better team that day because it shouldn't have even went to overtime. But I think as far as talent's concerned, I think the Lobos, and if they lose to the Aggies, and since they lost to the Aggies, I think it was things that they needed to do better. Like, I couldn't imagine the Lobos, both teams playing their best game and the Aggies winning.
Do you think a Lobo fan wishes there was two? Like, this is the first time, it was scheduled not to have two. Do you think the Lobo fan wishes there was a rematch now?
Yeah, I just went and looked at the schedule 5 minutes ago, hoping there was a rematch on there,
not.
and there
It's
isn't.
just they down to one game.
Yeah, that hurts.
All right, 505-246-0610 is the number. Caller number 4 right now. We have got 12 jerseys of Christmas for you from our friends at All In Autographs over in the Hoffmantown Shopping Center. It is a mystery box that contains a signed jersey.
Nice jerseys.
They're really nice. Yeah, it's yours if you're caller number 4 right now. 505-246-0610, courtesy of your good friend Zay at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Christmas season is here. 95.9 FM.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry.
We give it away? Somebody got it?
Yes, Anthony.
All right. Congratulations, Anthony. We'll do it again tomorrow. Are you in tomorrow? Like, what? Is JJ back tomorrow? I don't even know.
JJ's back tomorrow.
Yeah. And then you're in like next week, like Tuesday through the end of the year.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Isn't it nice when the city councilors love on you like that?
Yes.
How about the love from the city council? See that?
Oh, yeah. I saw all the love.
Well, you didn't even tell me he was there. They're like, someone's looking at you. Someone's staring at you. Hey, winter weather's coming. No better way to combat the snow and dirt than with the service from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. I recommend them because they are wonderful. Ceramic coating, paint protection film, helps prevent scratches and damage from the road debris. Plus, you'll say goodbye to the snow and the dirt and the water stains. There's a reason they are best of the city. You know why? Well, because they're best of the city. Keep your car looking like new this winter today. Book with On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They'll come out to you and detail your car. Zay, it's the coolest thing, man. Like you're sitting in the office and they're outside, and then you go outside and your car looks and smells and feels like the day you took it off the lot.
Yeah, I need to get them.
Great gift if you're looking for a gift idea. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. It's all right there for you to book and buy online at otsdetailing.com. All right, let me get you a few more of these. Criticism, this says. It's from Bill. Last year when Mashburn had shooting issues, he was widely criticized. These young kids are affected by this. I believe that could be a reason for his transfer to Temple. Now he's averaging over 23 points a game and 51.3% shooting. It's from Bill. Not sure what Bill's saying. Is Bill saying, stop criticizing him? Okay. Maybe. You guys ran him out? Is that what it is? This one says, Lobos thought they just had to show up and beat the Aggies. I was afraid they would, but the Aggies outplayed the Lobos. They were the better team that night. Way to go, Aggies. I think that's the answer, by the way. I just think that's the answer. That night, I don't know, man. You guys watched it. I know it's hard to admit that, but you watched it. Could you please effort Snake to get on the show this morning? I'm curious his take on the Lobo Aggie game. I didn't see Snake there. Lobo fans should be grateful there's not two games against our Southern opponents. Strong likelihood they would win both if we played like we did the other night. All right, what do I got? Holy smokes. Where am I going, dude?
We got Jose on 3.
All right, you want me to go to 3?
Yes, sir.
Jose, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up?
What's going on, Jeffrey?
Josue! That's Josue.
That's right. That's all right.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what he told me in my ear. You remember when you used to work here? When you were the producer, we used to have that little thing where you type it in. Yeah, that technology is no longer there.
Really? What
so
happened?
He just whispers in my ear.
Here?
Yeah, we're going backwards, dude.
Oh, man.
You know how.
It's on me. I did say Jose, and I know the difference. My fault, Josue.
No, that's all right.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, what a week. What a week for the Lobos. I wanted to get your take on something interesting that I saw on the interwebs, was that that Bronco might have bailed because maybe of the crime. Maybe it's not quite a place where
and I heard
to raise a family around here. Like him and his staff weren't like too crazy about the city.
Let me
what do you think about that?
Let me just tell you, the only place I heard that was on the interwebs. I never heard that coming from anybody affiliated with Bronco or that staff. The only place I saw that was it's a city, and that's the only. I never heard that coming from anybody that I know who they are. So.
Yeah, and which I'm like, I thought, well, he could probably live in the best neighborhood that we have around here.
Whatever. I'm going to guess Logan, Utah's, crime rate's lower, but whatever. I never heard from anybody credible that was the reason why he.
Okay. Yeah, I was just like, oh, man, I hope that wasn't it. I hope it was maybe it wasn't something that he took into consideration.
Let me ask you this:
when making the move,
if you were making $1.2 million, and I know that's chump change for you, but you get offered $2 million a year. I don't know. I mean, does that help you make up your mind?
Well, I'm probably not, because I committed. I came to this place, and all the talk that I was, if I was Bronco, I think I would have waited a couple of more years. Because I think if I continued to grow what he had started here, I think that money is going to be there, or maybe even more, and maybe even. I mean, you could choose from whatever. All he had to do is just continue what he was doing, and I think that money was going to be there no matter what. I think the sour thing is just the one and done was, especially after all the talk that he was talking about. I think that's what really just really was surprising, and it just felt void.
All right, appreciate you. Always do.
All right, hey, great job on the matchup. TCU back in the house. Woo, that's amazing.
Glad you like it. Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I love it.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Later. 505-246-0610. Terry. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Isaiah. Yes, congrats on your lineup for the bowl. Good job. You'll be awesome. But I will pick on, I know you work for ESPN, but I wish Reese Davis could have kept his mouth shut for 24 hours. Yes, he wants it seated. He wants the big dogs to have everything. But I thought, wow, it's cool. Everybody gets a shot. Boise gets a shot. Arizona State gets a shot. And Alabama, you can't just roll in because you're Alabama. So maybe they will reseed it. But this all goes back to, hey, if Notre Dame joined the conference, they wouldn't have put in necessarily this rule, which it was the Notre Dame rule, where you have to win a conference to get a bye. So, hey, Notre Dame officially joined somebody, and then we can move on. So from that standpoint. And, yes, I call in. Hey, you got blasted twice this week, but unlike New Mexico State Aggies that disappear for months on end, take it. Life goes on that. But, Jeff, Roy, you can say Roy used KU as a stepping stone. He actually turned North Carolina down the first time.
Yeah, but
he promised Collison he would stay 4 years, which that's once amazing. A guy that plays in the pros for that many years stayed 4 years, plus a coach keeping his word. So that goes back 20-some years. So those things are come and gone. Last little bit, why Josh won't win for Buffalo, won't win a Super Bowl. That picture of McDermott, the stupidest play call, it worked great for your team, but not throwing the ball from the one just pretty much said game over, and you could see it on his face. So it was like, oh. And I just going, sometimes, yeah, coaches, you're paid a lot of money, but just he could have rolled him out, throw the ball, incomplete, done it 3 or 4 times. So great, it worked out for you and all that. I do hope the ref, your team won, but that ref on the side that blew the false start when you're on the 4th and 4 and he took off about a half hour early.
Yeah.
I wish they could come out and at least say somebody gets a fine as a ref or gets suspended for a game, because that's not pass interference or anything. That's just clearly, oh, this guy left early. And, of course, then I looked down at some of them, and I think some of those guys went to high school with me, considering I'm 800 years old, and that standpoint. But, you guys have a great day. Enjoy the show. Let us know when you're going to finally take off for the year. Your 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah, a month and a half.
So we can wish you a happy tidings and all that. So have a great day, guys. Take care.
Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey,
good day.
Good morning. Hey, Lobo basketball. Good things are coming. Still have to do some more work, though. The Aggies, to let a 3-win team come in and do you like that. And on any given night, anybody could beat anybody. Josh Allen has been the best player in the NFL for 3 years now. He's at a next level. And I know who's been winning Super Bowls. I have a healthy respect for Mahomes. But Josh Allen is clearly above and beyond the best player in the NFL. That performance was amazing. And that coaching misblunder was pathetic. I mean, you and I could have made that call, and it cost them the game. So be it. I think the NCAA football committee did a nice job. They didn't penalize teams for losing their conference championship. My typical take was SMU, had they gotten left out, my take would have been, hey, you had your chance. You played in your title game, win and you survive and you advance, but they got in. I do believe that SMU is going to make the semifinals. I think they're going to get by. I think they're going to beat Penn State, and I think they're going to beat Boise State, and they're going to get into the semis. I really believe that. And then I also believe that Indiana should not have been in. I don't think Indiana is good enough. I think that they played one good team and got smashed. but the way the system worked, at least they got a chance. So,
and that's the issue with the unbalanced.
Ahead,
that's the issue with the unbalanced conferences, right? I mean, it's how do you keep a power conference team who was 11-1 and their only loss was to, the number 5 or Ohio State with number 8, I guess is where they ended up. How do you keep them out? And your answer is, well, who'd they beat? And then they beat everybody that you told them to play. That's what
you're right.
We're going to have this issue with these gigantic conferences. And like Sonny Dykes told us this morning, what do? Do you go to a NFL type schedule where, okay, here's what you were last year, so we're going to schedule you harder. But holy bleep, half my team is in the portal from last year, so I'm a different team, Michigan, or they left. And so I don't know the answer. And I think the committee had a really, really tough decision with Alabama and SMU. And I totally get both sides of it. If they would have kept SMU out, you would have basically taken a sledgehammer to conference championship games. And there's a lot of money there.
I think they made the right decision. Boy, that Tennessee, Ohio State, Oregon, that's murderer's row. Yeah. And I'm not saying they're getting a layup with Arizona State, but they're getting a layup with Arizona State in that next round. So
it's a different one. Boy, do I love Scatterbo.
It's tough.
Yeah, and I love me some Scatterbo.
He's very, very good.
He was awesome. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, have a good day, guys.
Later. What'd you tell me, Frank? Hello, Frank. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day.
Morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning.
I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents about Bronco leaving.
No.
First of all, I'm sorry for Rudy being such a fan and committing so much time and money to this guy. It's a bunch of crap. But it's not. He didn't leave here because Logan is so drawing 55,000 people or because of our crime. He's a member of a cult, and he wants his kids to grow up around that cult. That's fair.
It's a religion.
That's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, his faith is obviously very important to him, and he's LDS, and it's an LDS strong
Absolutely.
area.
Absolutely. So I called after we lost to Montana State because he doesn't know how to manage the clock, and I'm catching myself with this NIL thing. I'm not really a fan of anybody anymore. I just root against people. And I hate that, but that's where I've come down to. And I wanted to leave you with this. Get out of my football building, My Little Pony.
See you, man. But people are bitter, man. But do you find yourself rooting more for people or against people?
It doesn't sit right on me to root against unless it's the Eagles. So
you got it.
Yeah. Outside of the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't root against anybody. I guess you could say anybody who plays Oregon. As of right now, I'm rooting against them, but that's because I'm rooting for Oregon.
Yeah, that's fair. Cowboys tonight on Monday Night Football right here on the Sports Animal. What's your team, dude?
I guess I root for them. I
mean, they're playing Joe Burrow in the 4. I mean, here's the crazy part. Your record's better than Cincinnati's, and everybody tells me how great they are. Every week, Cincinnati's this close. They can't play defense. Joe Burrow's good. I'll give you Joe Burrow's really good. Who wins tonight?
The Bengals. The Bengals. And I'm rooting for Dallas, which is why I hope they lose. So as crazy as that sounds, the Bengals should win. I mean, I know their defense isn't very good either. But I think that they'll just simply outscore the Cowboys. I know that seems like a know-it-all statement because that's how you win a football game, but I don't think Cooper Rush can score with Joe Burrow.
All right, we'll wrap it up. What do you think? Got time for you still, 505-246-0610. I got a few more emails and texts to hit. Keep them coming. It's the opening drive. He's Zay. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
New Mexico celebrates the holiday season with the 19th Isleta New Mexico Bowl. Our state's premier annual sports event is Saturday, December 28th at University Stadium. College football's postseason with New Mexico flavor. All your info is at NewMexicoBowl.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part,
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children.
All right, taking you home on a Monday morning, or is it a Monday morning? Zay's in for JJ. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, not here today. He'll be here tomorrow. I'm in for, I think I got another 5 days to work this year, Zay.
Yeah.
And then, then I got to really work.
Yeah.
The bummer part is I'm burning all this vacation when I can't really enjoy it.
Well, after the bowl game.
But then it'll be a new year. I'll be out of vacation.
Oh.
But I'll take some time. It's usually what I do is I go disappear for a couple of days.
As you should.
Go find some California beach and golf course and something like that.
Yeah, one day.
Right.
One day.
Here's what you got to know as you go through your day. Juan Soto is a Met. 15 years, $765 million. I know it's hard before. I just think about it for a second. $765 million for 15 years for Juan Soto.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Good Monday Night Football tonight. Cowboys and Cincinnati Bengals right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for the National Football League. You've got a college football playoff set. You've got a bowl schedule set. Isleta New Mexico Bowl will have a Big 12 team in TCU. They will play the Sun Belt runner-up, 10-3 Louisiana. If you missed and want to hear the conversations with both of the head coaches, they are available for you on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Go to the opening drive. Michael Desormeaux was with us at 7:30, and on our website. 505-246-0610. Sherman, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Sherman.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. First, a compliment on your bowl. Wow, that's just tremendous. So happy for you. That's great for the state of New Mexico.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bronco, like everybody else, I love Bronco. And then there's a but. But you look at the state of New Mexico and our commitment to university sports vis-a-vis the state of Utah and their commitment to university sports. You look at the Mountain West Conference is half the conference that it was when he was hired. You look at doubling the money. So, and the intensity is real. It's wherever he is, that intensity is going to exist. And I think one of the things that all of us loved most about Bronco was his intensity. So while I'm disappointed, certainly for Lobo football, gosh, I just when I put it on a professional level, I can't see why it would. So I wish him well.
Let me ask you this: everybody wants to rip on the state of New Mexico and commitment, and I think there's some validity. I think there's a really plenty of room for conversation, and we need to examine the extent of our commitment to athletics and to football, and it's another conversation. But all that said, and you somewhat laid it out for this particular coach, okay, who his faith is very important to him, and that's a very, very big area for his faith.
Yes.
He walked into a situation a year ago where there was a different athletic director and the league looked different, and they offered him $2 million a year as opposed to $1.2 million a year. No matter what the commitment was here, were you going to keep this particular coach?
I under the circumstances that existed, no. And while I'm very disappointed in 1 year, I think 3 years would have probably been the max.
That's right. That's right. Look, and the world didn't end, man. I mean, there's good coaches out there, but Bronco Mendenhall was a good coach, and he did a lot of things. He did, almost nothing in the community, right? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Danny was out in the community, but he didn't win a lot. Well, Danny's team was 4-8 the year before. This team was 5-7. I don't know. Is that a huge difference? It's one game better. Oh. He did it with a lot of players that were already here. Like, I'm not taking anything away from Bronco as a coach. Really, really, really good coach. But you're going to be okay.
The reality is, Danny left Bronco many talented players.
100%. Like your quarterback, like your all-conference receiver. Yes. Yeah. They did a great job and went out and got an offensive line. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I admired and appreciated Danny. I still do very much.
Yep.
I was thrilled when we got Bronco. I'm disappointed. But the reality of the situation is, why would he stay giving 6 different categories of facts?
Understood. All right, man. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon.
Take care.
Later. Look, I this is not belittling. The one thing that does bother me a little bit, and I know there's a lot of you who feel a different way. I've been reading, we inherited a dumpster fire, and Danny was a disaster. Not really. No. I mean, the Danny thing didn't go as well as you wanted it to go, and certainly not quickly enough. Mm-hmm. This wasn't a dumpster fire. It with all due respect, it just was. The program was getting better, and you saw it with your eyes. They went up to Fresno at the end of last year and won. They didn't win that last game. Probably should have, but they didn't. I don't know. Devin Dampier was pretty good. He was here. Luke Weissong evidently was pretty good. He was here.
I think that one. No, the Luke one I know hurts some fans more because he is local. Mm-hmm. And I know when someone that's not from here leaves, you kind of have that understanding because maybe they went home.
Yep.
I think the Luke one, I'm sure stung a lot of the fans.
100%. Yep, I get it. You're from here. Why would you leave? No, I get it. I get it. And if and when he ends up at Utah State, you're just going to go, oh, man.
Yeah. One thing that really makes me raise an eyebrow, and maybe you could give me some insight to this as far as the timeline was concerned.
Yeah.
I know when Lovo was hired, he made a point in saying that he was going to put effort into the football team. He was going to try to get the university's football team back to the top. And with Bronco leaving, a lot of people are saying, well, the Lobos, they didn't have an identity, or the football program this, the football program that. But the new AD says he was going to make it better. So I wonder if maybe Bronco heard something that he didn't like from Lovo, or if his mind was made up already. Who knows? Other than you.
Boy, that's a lot. No, I don't know at all. Thank you to Michael Desormeaux, the head coach of Louisiana, for being with us today. Sonny Dykes, the head coach of TCU, was with us today. Jim Rome's show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is after that. 2 Men On is in at 4. They'll be at Howie's Sports page today. Go out and see them. And then you can get Monday Night Football, Cowboys and Bengals at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Adrian, great work. Looks good over on the visuals. Zay, thanks for getting up and coming in today. Great job.
Always, of course. Thank you for having me.
Enjoy having you here. Hey, we're back tomorrow morning. Award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
New Mexico celebrates the holiday season with the 19th Isleta New Mexico Bowl. Our state's premier annual sports event is Saturday, December 28th at University Stadium. College football's postseason with New Mexico flavor. All your info is at NewMexicoBowl.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the